Isn't it fun being a guinea pig for multi-billion-dollar corporations who don't want to put the money into research and development and rather have you suffer and figure out the bugs yourself? No, it's not. Let's get into it.
Skip it up and that up.
So there have been many bugs with both Sony and Microsoft's next-gen consoles. One of the biggest annoyances for me, or there's two of them, is games will just stop downloading on the PlayStation 5 saying there's a server error out of nowhere. Doesn't matter if I'm connected Wi-Fi or Ethernet. And the other one is that if you have an external drive, if you try to unplug it, even if it just says PlayStation 4 games on your PlayStation 5, the external drive that is, go move it to a different port, even if the console's in sleep mode. It's a complete disaster. I had to do a factory reboot of my system. Yes, I know they have a way to safely eject the drive, but I thought in 2020 that wouldn't have been a thing, and it is. Whereas on the Xbox Series X, you could even remove those SSD external cards from Seagate, hot swap them. Sony, step your game up when it comes to that. Now, on the flip side, I like the PlayStation 5's UI better, but both consoles have bugs, and they're annoying. But this one, if you're playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War on the Xbox Series X, could brick the console. This comes from GamerRant.com. I'm going to read it to you, then we will discuss. Xbox Series X owners arguably have it worse, as not only were they inadvertently downloading the Xbox One version of the game, doing so would lead to the console itself crashing. Fortunately, there was a simple fix for this, but now things have apparently got worse, as there are reports of some Xbox Series X consoles being bricked. This is what one Reddit user has to say about his Xbox Series X being bricked due to Black Ops Cold War. My Cold War had been crashing by Series X a bunch over the weekend, but it was only every 4 or 5 games or so I just reboot and move on. Well, when it happened this morning, it was for good. Xbox will not boot back up. I keep it sitting out on my living room floor with space to breathe, too, so it's definitely not overheating. So if you've been having this issue, I'd say take a break from COD and play something else until there's a patch, because I'm out of commission for 10 days now. Now, on the PlayStation 5, I actually had where I couldn't even launch the game initially until it was patched, and some people on day one were downloading the PlayStation 4 version of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and some people are even reporting that they were having problems connecting to servers that wouldn't even allow them to play the offline single-player campaign. But again, as far as I've seen, those issues have been fixed, and Black Ops Cold War, at least on my PlayStation 5, runs just fine. Now, Treyarch says that they're looking into a patch, but they have some recommendations in the meantime. First off, they say make sure you're not downloading the Xbox One version of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, even though they should have checked to make sure it would have been stable on the Xbox Series X first, but nonetheless, make sure you don't download the Xbox One version of Cold War and play it on your next-gen console. Secondly, they're recommending to turn off ray tracing. That helps mitigate crashes. And they also say that ray tracing causes lag during online matches, which is weird. I actually noticed that on my PC playing Modern Warfare, which isn't Black Ops Cold War, I know, but if I had ray tracing on, it would get super laggy out of nowhere. So that seems to be a thing with the engine that both developers are using. So this is why I keep telling people, there's a lot of like, oh man, I'm so annoyed, Rich. I missed out on the PlayStation 5. I missed out on the PS5 Digital Edition. I missed out on the Series X. I missed out on the Series S. I missed out on the Series S All Horse Edition. I'm hoping for an All Horse Edition. I don't think it's going to happen. But my point being is that, look, we're the guinea pigs right now if you got the consoles on day one. We're the ones that are going to be testing out the bugs for you. Even though it should be the developers doing it, even though it should be the hardware manufacturers doing it, we all know how it is. And especially with what's going on with COVID, and I'll still hold to this now, and I know people get very angry at this, but I don't say things to just have a popular opinion. I think the consoles could have been held off for like 6 months. They could have been held off until late winter or early spring of 2021, or maybe a little bit more down the line. Because, look, I understand bugs were going to happen no matter what, but I think a lot of these bugs could have been mitigated. And it was tough to get these consoles out there when manufacturing is limited, when, there's people social distancing, because we are in the middle of an unprecedented time with a pandemic to the likes we haven't seen since 1918. This is why I'm saying the console should have been delayed. And if it wasn't for Review Tech USA, I know I've said this before in live streams and videos, I honestly would have waited until like spring or summer of 2021 to pick them up anyway. It's just keeping it real with you. You know, there's some awesome games on the PlayStation 5 that are exclusives at launch, but, you know, with the Xbox Series X and S, great systems, but there's no must-have AAA exclusive games right now. So don't feel like you're missing out. Look, I know FOMO means fear of missing out, and I always think of the YouTuber, stop the FOMO. And I get it, man. I have that fear of missing out too. I love new tech, and I love next-gen technology, and I love getting the newest, nicest stuff. But consider you not getting a console because the demand is too high and there's not enough stock. Consider it Sony and Microsoft doing you a favor because you don't have to be the guinea pigs. My dumbass has to be. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.
Hey, if you enjoy my content, consider becoming a Review Tech USA member. I'll have a link below in the description. I live stream now on this channel all the time, and it gives you access to cool emoticons to use as well while I live stream. Again, link below in the description. Thank you for your continued support.